Post Shang-Chi, Disney has decided that the box office is now strong enough to support 45-day windows for the rest of their 2021 slate. Warner Brothers, by the way, is switching to 45-day windows in 2022. Universal has 17 or 31-day windows, and then it's really up to the whims of the other studios as to what they want to do. And by the way, Disney has a special 30-day window for Encanto, which is being released in a particularly maverick way, which is either brilliant or oopsie. We'll find out. What happens after the 45 days? Still no word outside of Encanto. That's going to Disney Plus, and we'll talk about details in a few moments. But as for the other movies, will they go to Disney or Disney Plus or Hulu, and at what price point, if any? Or will they stop off first at traditional PVOD? We'll find out soon. Whatever they decide to do with Shang-Chi is likely what they're going to do with the rest of the movies. So today what we're going to do is we're going to discuss which of the 7 remaining 2021 Disney Fox movies have the best box office odds in order of release. And as always, be sure to play down below yourself. All right, so first up, The Last Duel. This one's going to hurt a little. It's coming out 1 week after Bond and opposite Halloween Kills, which is day and date on Peacock after not getting such good reviews. As for The Last Duel, with their review situation, they're coming off of the festival circuit because, Disney Fox is hoping this is an awards contender, but they're at 67% right now on Rotten Tomatoes. And this is another historical Ridley Scott movie with a little less regard for history than you would expect. I mean, the movie takes place in France, yet we've got a mix of British and American accents. But with this incredible cast and Ridley Scott's legendary visual flair, particularly when it comes, sci-fi and historical, he's good at the visuals. In 45 days, I think this will do quite well on PVOD, wherever it lands. And then, ouch, Ron's Gone Wrong is just killing time before it gets to Disney Plus or Hulu, and I would say at no extra cost. It has to get all the way down to that. But then, of course, Eternals should make all the monies. The winner of pretty much every remaining What Movie Are You the Most Excited For poll out there, Chloe Zhao, Angelina Jolie, and the Game of Thrones boys, for once in their life, seem to be delivering the goods. I'm saying that because outside of Game of Thrones, some Game of Thrones fans might be like, what are you talking about? Although I suspect most of you are like, it's true. But, usually they don't do so well outside of the franchise. None of the actors have, and for the most part. But it's here, it seems to be working. So Eternals has 2 weeks before Sony's Ghostbusters hits, and they battle it out for Thanksgiving audiences. But what about Encanto? Because for years, the House of Disney Animation has dominated Turkey Weekend. And sure enough, here comes Lin-Manuel Miranda's latest project. He's booked and busy. Hamilton, huge hit. In the Heights, not so much. So, the verdict's still out on him in movies. However, not only will Encanto hit Disney Plus just 30 days later on Christmas Day, hits theaters for Thanksgiving, hits Disney Plus on Christmas Day, but it will be available at no extra cost. Wow! I think that many families and many people, period, will decide to wait just the mere 30 days. I mean, it's not like there's like a big spoiler in Encanto, right? Especially with the holiday season and other movies to keep them busy. That time's just going to fly by. And then you'll be able to watch Encanto basically for free. It will be interesting to see how this impacts the box office, whereas all these other movies will still be at a hefty price tag because, of course, remember, they start out for sale, not for rent, after their 45-day windows. As for West Side Story in early December, I think with its very strong trailers, this last one was excellent, Steven Spielberg has indeed delivered not just an Oscar contender, but strong counter-programming to all the holiday blockbusters. Now, so far, older moviegoers have been the most reluctant to return to theaters, but perhaps they'll be persuaded for this new take on an iconic musical. Also, older moviegoers love awards contenders, and it's from the most famous director in Hollywood. Not yet Christopher Nolan. Steven Spielberg is still king, and who might have his next biggest Oscar winner after Schindler's List. That's mighty persuasive, I think. And then, of course, West Side Story will have a foundation to build on of the Latino market, musical theater fans, as Spielberg has delivered a big, lavish musical, something In the Heights chose not to do. They wanted to be more real, but I think they went too far in the real direction. They should have been somewhere in between. And then, of course, Rachel Zegler fans. Oh, it's time to prove that you're a force that translates to ticket sales, a fan force that translates to ticket sales. That's crucial. Some people have fans who simply who won't pay to see them, and that makes them a little less valuable. This will be Rachel Zegler's first big test. The only wild card here is Ansel Elgort, aka Armie Hammer Jr. I don't think it's as bad a situation as Armie Hammer Jr., which is why I think this still is, they're certainly minimizing him in the advertising, but I don't think he's killed the film like Armie Hammer has killed Death on the Nile. As for Nightmare Alley, also a Fox pick, this time for Searchlight, Disney must feel that the Guillermo del Toro star-studded film noir has awards potential to squeeze it in just 1 week after West Side Story. I mean, with this strong a cast and also being an awards contender, Nightmare Alley could really eat into West Side Story's box office, especially with a cast that will appeal to older moviegoers as well. But I think because this is so genre-y, I think it could hurt The King's Man, which is coming up right next. So there's no reason to endanger both West Side Story and The King's Man unless they feel Nightmare Alley is awards worthy. The trailer is, I might have already watched it by, the time I edit this video, so we'll see how that looks. And I think with this cast and Guillermo del Toro and the film noir angle, no matter what, it should be a monster on streaming. But as for its awards chances and box office chances, well, we'll have to see if it's a good Guillermo del Toro movie or a Crimson Peak. And yes, finally we have The King's Man right at Christmas, squeaking right in there at the last minute, which is not only a nice bone to throw to movie theaters, but could do quite nicely in the Christmas to New Year's window. When it's quiet, people are between holidays, they still don't want to work, and they don't have a lot to do. West Side Story could benefit from this window as well. So I think this is a smart play by Disney. I would go along with, I think that they're doing the right thing here. I think it's going to work for everyone. And they have enough movies coming quickly that if you want to wait the 45 days, you'll just be 45 days behind this release calendar. Disney will always have something for you. Eternals and West Side Story, I think, will make the big bucks, while Encanto will most likely be a big win for Disney Plus, like Soul and Luca before it. Plus, Disney can make Pixar feel less bad, saying, hey, look, see, we put one of our Disney animated movies for free on Disney Plus. And then Pixar will say, but you put it in theaters first, and they'll be like, come on, let's just all get along. And I do think that The Last Duel and Ron's Gone Wrong will be stronger on streaming. As for Nightmare Alley and The King's Man, I think the last trailer for King's Man looked very good. So I think both of these movies are the wild cards. So what do you think? Which of these movies will you see in theaters? Which will you pay to see on streaming after 45 days? And which will you wait to see until they're free on Disney Plus or Hulu? And by the way, what do you think of the Encanto play? Will you wait the 30 days to watch it at no extra cost, or will you go and see it in theaters? Share those thoughts down below, subscribe today, and of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.